Hi, everybody. It's Craig and Arun back with your NBA rundown of games for Tuesday, February 3rd. Yes, we're on the countdown to Super Bowl week. Don't forget, we'll be having the free pick on the Super Bowl. We've covered every football game this year. We've covered every NBA game this year, all the ranked college basketball games, and almost all the NHL games in the last month. So make sure you check out all of our videos in all the different sports every day. But don't forget, if you want to get on our top play, I've got a super special. As always, you can get on the 2-for-1 pass, but we've got a special. Instead of going, and I'll put it up on the screen so you can go direct if you want. But if you get in on the 2-for-1 NBA pass tonight, the week pass, and you text my name right here, 740-760-1131, you can get in on a special deal. So you can text your name to my number and get this special deal tonight. It's just $99 to get the week pass in the NBA, and you get us both. And I got a little extra special deal that you'll definitely want to text me to get in on it. But of course, right here is where you get it. If you want to get right here, 2-for-1, DocSports.com/Craig Arun. Okay, the NBA, we kick us off here. Indiana hosting in the Utah Jazz. Indiana, tough game yesterday, lost by, 4 against Houston without Kevin Durant. Now they're favored today, minus 4.5, total 236.5. What do you like?
Utah won 152 to 128 last time. They absolutely beat them. Imagine Indiana giving up 152 points to somebody. Utah coming in here after having lost 6 straight games, lost to Toronto 100 to 107 as a 10-point dog. In their last contest, but they had missed their last 5 straight covers coming into that game. Look, Indiana comes in this game losing to Houston 114 to 118, but they did cover the last 3, covering against Chicago, Atlanta, and of course, losing to Houston 114 to 118 last game as a 6.5-point dog. I'm really surprised that Indiana's not a bigger favorite here, especially with the revenge against Utah. Can you imagine Utah being a 4.5-point dog, despite the fact that they've lost so many games in a row, about 6 games in a row? I was very interested to see what the total came in. I came in at 236.5. Do you know that 83% of the public is on the over in this game? I'm going to take the under, Craig, because I just don't think Indiana gives up 152 points like last time. Indiana also comes off of a loss as well. Utah comes in this game, and they've been playing better defense against Toronto and Brooklyn, 107, 109 points. Give me the under 236.5 between these two teams. All right, Craig, the Knicks here, minus 13.5-point chalk here on the road against Washington. New York won 119 to 102 on November the 3rd. New York has won the last 10 in a row coming in. New York has now won 6 games in a row, beating the Lakers 112 to 100, beating Portland 127 to 97. Absolutely dominating the last 6 games. Washington comes to this game beating Sacramento 116 to 112 last contest and covering 6 of their last 8 games as well. Who do you like?
Yeah, even better. They've covered 4 of the last 5, Washington. Now, those covers are against the Kings, the Bucks, a struggling Blazers team, at Charlotte. That was probably the one at Charlotte was the one that you say that's kind of impressive. Rest of them were facing teams that really aren't playing that good right now. Now, it's a good spot to get New York in a sandwich spot. They had the Lakers, which, of course, it was the weekend game yesterday, so everybody was a national televised game. Now, tomorrow, they have Denver at home. So, of course, you get Jokic and company there. I think you take Washington here just because of the spot. And I do think Washington keeps it within double digits. So they lose by 8 to 10 points. Give me Washington plus the 13.5. Don't forget to like and subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on all the great content we have here at Doc Sports. Speaking of the Denver team, they're playing at Detroit tonight. Detroit's favored by 4, total of 227. Denver's coming off a not so good performance against the champs last night. That was on Sunday. So hopefully they'll be up for it. I think these two should be a good matchup. What do you like here, I see?
Detroit coming in, beating Brooklyn 130 to 77, winning their last 2 games here. So Detroit's won back-to-back games. Denver coming off that loss to Oklahoma City, 111 to 121. So what happens here? I actually think that Denver is going to come in this contest, and you got to look at the injuries. Gordon is out for this game, but Jokic is back. Look, you have an opportunity here where Detroit did beat this team just a couple days ago. Denver remembers that. They come off a bad loss against Oklahoma City in a game where they were getting destroyed. I mean, they were getting destroyed at home. They came back late, but it just wasn't enough. I'm going to take Denver plus the 4 here. Craig, the Lakers here, minus 8.5-point chalk against Brooklyn. Odd line. These two teams have not met this year. Lakers coming off a 100 to 112 loss against the Knicks. The Nets coming off an ugly loss, 77 to 130 against Detroit. Who do you like here?
Yeah, up until that last game, they had been really good for us bettors. They had won 3 in a row headed in against the spread headed in that game at Detroit. Now, Detroit's really good. Now, should you lose by 53 points to anybody? Obviously, no. These are all pros. It should never end up like that. But sometimes it just gets away from you. Now, maybe they were looking ahead because anytime you get to face the Lakers on deck, teams could be looking past it. I think this is not a Lakers team that I want to be laying points with right now. They're a flawed team. Austin Reeves was he's their number 2 guy, not LeBron James. And he's been out for like a month, it feels like now. And until he gets back, I think you're going to have to fade the Lakers, especially when they're laying big numbers like this, like 8.5 points. So give me 8.5 with the Brooklyn Nets in this one. Now, next game, we got the Hawks at the Heat. Heat favored by 4.5, total 239.5. Two very equal teams. 27 wins for Miami, 24 wins for Atlanta. So they're right there. What do you like here?
Yeah, Atlanta here, 24-27. Miami, 27-24. You have a Miami team that's 126-111. Miami won last time they played them. Atlanta comes in this contest having lost back-to-back games to Indiana and Houston. That's going to upset them a little bit here. Miami comes off that huge win against the Bulls. I think what happens here, Atlanta plus the 4.5 makes a lot of sense. I just don't see them losing 3 in a row. Give me the Hawks plus the 4.5. Celtics minus 7.5 point chalk against Dallas, Craig. Dallas lost 127-120 last time. Boston coming in this game having won back-to-back games against Milwaukee and Sacramento. These two teams have not met this year. So Boston off back-to-back wins. Dallas off 4 straight losses. Who do you like here as Boston comes in as a minus 7.5 point favorite?
I like the under in this game. Both these teams have been really good to the under. I think 3 of the last 4 Dallas games have gone under. And as far as Boston is concerned, they have got 4 or 5 in a row have gone under. It's been all about this defense. And the one thing that as much as people want to give the Celtics credit for their offense when they won the championship a few years back, it was their great defense, their ability to switch everything. They've gotten back to that this year, and it's more important than ever, obviously, without Tatum and Holiday and all these great stars that they've traded away to save money and waiting for Tatum to get back in health. Let's take the under in this game, under 222.5, which for an NBA game is actually slated pretty low, but I still think it goes under. Next game, Magic at the Thunder. Thunder minus 7.5, total 220. Is this maybe a letdown side after Thunder drilled Denver last time out?
These two teams have not met this year. Orlando lost 103-112 against San Antonio last contest, having won back-to-back games at Toronto and Miami. Oklahoma City winning a nice game against Denver, 121-111. So Oklahoma City off of a nice win. Orlando coming off of a loss, 103-112. I think what you have here is an opportunity. Orlando coming off a 7. I mean, they're a 7.5 point dog. And you have to look to see who Oklahoma City has on deck. They have the Spurs on deck. So Oklahoma City coming off that big win against Denver. They have the Spurs on deck. Orlando coming off that loss against the Spurs, having won back-to-back games prior to that. I like this great fade here. I like Orlando plus the 7.5 here to hang tough. I know it sounds crazy, but I think they hang tough and get it done. All right, Craig. Chicago minus 3 here, favorite on the road against the Bucks. Keep in mind the Bucks won 112-103 last time out. Okay, and Chicago comes in losing 91-134 as a massive underdog last time out, losing 4 out of the last 5. Milwaukee comes in this game losing to Boston 79-107. Milwaukee off of a bad loss, Chicago off of a bad loss, and then you have the Bucks coming in off a nice 112-103 win last time out. Who do you like here with the Bulls coming as a 3-point favorite?
The distraction for the Bucks with the whole Giannis trade. We've only got a couple of days to the trade deadline. They said they're counter all the proposals out there. So maybe we see tomorrow. Maybe it's the next day after that, on Wednesday, that we see this trade finally go through. But until then, I think it's just too much distractions for a Bucks team that wasn't good anyway. And now you take these distractions. I think it's just asking too much because several of these guys could be involved in the trade as well. Some of the pieces. Give me Chicago. They need to get this win too. They have played very poorly as of late. Next game, Bucks at the Sixers at the Golden State Warriors. As we're speaking, Philly is winning in the Clippers, and there is no line in this one. So we're going to skip this game. But if you want to put in the comments, we can always put this game in the comments. So last game for you, Phoenix Suns at the Portland Trail Blazers. Suns favored by 3.5. Total 218.5. I did not think the Suns could win this many games without Booker, but they've been really good here lately. Can they keep it going?
Phoenix won 127-110 last time on November the 18th. Phoenix comes into this game losing to the Clippers 93-117 last time. They had won their 3 previous games against Cleveland, Detroit, and Brooklyn before. Portland coming in having lost 5 straight to Cleveland, New York, Washington, Boston, and Toronto. So Portland off 5 straight losses. Phoenix off that loss to the Clippers as well. So both these teams are off of losses. But, of course, Phoenix also coming off that 127-110 loss last time. 127-110 win on November the 18th as well. So can Portland step up here? That's really the question here. Because you have a Portland team that really needs to pick up this win. Phoenix, again, coming off that bad loss to the Clippers, though, and Portland coming off that bad loss to the Cavs. But then again, they've lost 5 in a row. I think what happens here, man, Portland is a desperate team. What is Phoenix doing in the next contest? They're playing Golden State. They could be looking ahead. Can Portland really pull the scheme off? They did beat Miami, Sacramento, and the Lakers at home. I'm going to take a small, if I have to, Avdija, Holiday, Henderson, all listed as day-to-day. I'm going to take a small lean here on the Blazers, plus a 3.5.
All right, so that's what we have for today. Don't forget, if you want to get on that 2-for-1 NBA pass, very simple. We get a week pass for just $99, DocSports.com/CraigArun. Even more important, though, if you want an even better deal, text your name to this number right here, 740-760-1131. I'll get you a deal on that week pass in the NBA. I know you won't regret texting me, but make sure you text your name to this number. Good luck. See you again tomorrow.